of La Penta. This is WICR.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Sportsville. I'm your host with the most, Jersey Joe, back in studio with my friend Big Shot Rob. Rob, a little thing called Super Bowl 49 just ended the other day. We weren't on yesterday, we got a nice snow day, 2 years in a row off the Super Bowl, not too bad, but Rob, there's only one thing that I want to talk about, and I think you know what it is.
The terrible play call to end the game, which kind of ruined my whole day. I thought it was one of the best Super Bowls I have ever seen, and just that one play just changed everything and ruined my whole day. I was so aggravated, Joe. I have no idea what Pete Carroll was thinking on that play. You have Marshawn Lynch, who rushed for 102 yards in that game, just picked up 4 yards the play before, was killing New England, and you don't run it in with him. Instead, you settle to throw a pass, a quick slam pass, in the middle of the field. Now, I don't care if it was a pass to the outside by the corners. The middle of the field where there's a cluster makes no sense to me whatsoever. If you throw right in the middle, you have all your linebackers right there, and you're doomed right there.
Rob, I'm telling you, for me, it was like a bad dream. I was sitting on the couch so excited because I was rooting for Seattle. I really wanted them to win. I'm a big Russell Wilson fan, so I was really excited. I'm like, oh my goodness, look at the time. It was a perfect situation. You had a timeout in your pocket, so if you ran the ball and it didn't go in, no problem. You got a timeout, try it again. When I saw it, it was just, I'm telling you, it was like time stopped. Like, Can I have a do-over, please? I just don't understand it. I mean, we all understand football at its core is like a chess game. It's a really, really well chess game played by masters. One little mistake changes everything. And I just think you just overthink it. I mean, just think you don't have to be a football genius to understand that in that situation, you run the ball. It'd be one thing even if you didn't have a good running back, but you have Marshawn Lynch. Run the ball. I don't think that I'll ever, and if you're Pete Carroll, how do you sleep? I wouldn't be able to sleep for months if this happened. I mean, it's just, there's no words that could describe how just much of a blunder this was. I don't know if you could ever live it down. I mean, just how big of a blunder.
I really don't understand it, Joe. Joe, now, we look at this. He affected the Super Bowl. This is now the second time, Joe, in his career that he's affected his Seattle team. We go back 2 years ago when they played the Atlanta Falcons in the divisional round, Joe. They lost 30-28. It goes for it on fourth down in the second quarter of that game instead of settling for a field goal. 3 points right there. Could have won that game. Probably could have won the Super Bowl that year.
Yeah.
Look at this. Yet again, messing up his team. And I listened to his press conference review, and it's like, just take the fault that you ruined the game. You took the wrong play. I don't know what you were thinking. You had one time out in your sleeve. You could have done something with it.
And here's the unbelievable thing, too. I mean, it was a really well coached. I felt like for basically that entire game, coaching really didn't have too much to do with it. That was just a game where the best team with the best players who executed the best would win. And for the most part in that game, that was the case. I mean, both teams really going at it. It was close. It was just great to watch. But then we saw it was a coaching decision that lost that game for the Seattle Seahawks. Now, a lot of people are saying you give the Patriots credit. You do. You give them credit because they even said they practiced that play. Situational awareness is more important in football than it is in any other sport. They recognized that play, and they saw it immediately, and that's why they came away with the interception. But I just think you can't overthink something as simple as this. When is it not okay to run the football there? I will never, ever be able to understand it. But let me ask you this, Rob. For me, the play that I really thought changed the game for Seattle was the Jermaine Kearse drop in the third quarter. Now, Seattle had all the momentum at that point. They were moving the ball. They were killing them with the deep ball. They couldn't be stopped. But then when Jermaine Kearse dropped that ball and then they kicked the ball back, New England just ran away with momentum after that. Did you think that was the play where everything kind of shifted to the Patriots?
That was the biggest play, Joe, because you're up 24-14 at that point. And you know what? If he catches that, Seattle's easily going to score a touchdown or a field goal on that drive, go up either 3 or go up more. And it's like he had it right there I mean, he made up for it later on in the game, but that's definitely a catch you have to make as a wide receiver. I mean, look at it, Joe. He's not a Randy Moss. He's not a Terrell Owens. But that's a play you have to make in a big game like that, big game situations.
It really wasn't. That's one thing I really want to give Russell Wilson credit for here is I know in this game he got off to a little bit of a rough start, really struggling to throw the ball. But you think of the deep balls he was throwing. He was putting them on the money. Think how accurate was he with those balls. I mean, you got to give them credit because we understood that Browner and Revis were going to make it really difficult for Doug Baldwin and Jermaine Kearse to catch anything easy. And they really did. They shut him down. But then, I mean, you look at Lockett and you look at Matthews. They played terrific. I mean, they really did everything that they could have in this game. And Russell Wilson, his balls were on the money to them.
Oh, they most definitely were, Joe. He was so into that game. He made a lot of smart decisions in that game. Should have came out with a victory. I mean, I look at like some other plays in this game, Joe, with Wilson, though, where third quarter they came out hot right off the start.
Yes.
They drove it down the field, and it kind of reminded me of the Green Bay game where Green Bay had to settle for field goals, and that's one thing that really killed them on that first drive. Instead of scoring a touchdown, driving all the way down, they settled for a field goal, only go up 17-14. I mean, Wilson really played his heart out. He ran when he had to. Just a shame that they had to lose. This Seahawks team really deserved that championship Sunday.
They did. Now, at the end of the day, we can go over this so many times. What's the thing to you that you're going to remember the most about this Super Bowl? Is it Tom Brady getting his 4th trophy, MVP, maybe the greatest quarterback of all time, barring the controversy with Deflategate, Spygate, all that other stuff? What's the thing that you remember the most off this Super Bowl?
Just that interception at the end. I mean, I understand Tom
forever.
won his Super Bowl ring. I mean, I didn't jump like crazy for it. I sat there. I said, Seattle defeated themselves. The Patriots didn't win this one.
They did.
Seattle handed them that game, just like Green Bay handed Seattle a victory a couple weeks ago, and it's just a shame.
It's just unthinkable. It really is. I mean, out of all the time I've ever watched football, there wasn't a second. I mean, I'm just sitting on my couch, my table flipped over. I just sat there trying to find words to describe what I just saw, and I can't. It's just indescribable. You could take just a coach at a basic level who understands in that situation, run the football. Words will never come to me for that. It really is just, I mean, it's disappointing if you're a Seahawks fan, if you're New England. You get another Super Bowl trophy, so you're happy about that, but I don't know. It's just something I will never, ever, ever forget, and I'm sure Pete Carroll will never, ever, ever forget. But this is Jersey Joe and Big Shot Rob signing off of a great segment. Thank you all for staying tuned, and we will be back later.